Step back and see the macro and digest it down to the micro. Trading, investing, and geopolitics from macro down to the micro. Welcome to Macronomics.
Welcome back to Macronomics, guys. It's fall. It is fall, man. I'm sorry, I was just at the compost. It just hit me that fall is here, man. It is here. And so, okay, today's insight is simply this. Yesterday, I was writing out some stuff, and it hit me. It's okay to lose a couple worms for a big fish. I was just writing out. I had like 3 small losses on the day yesterday, and so I was just journaling my experience, and it hit me. It's okay to lose a couple worms to catch a big fish. And that's going to be essentially our outline for today's insight. It's okay to lose a couple worms for a big fish. So let's dive into that. So as we talked about before, guys, I've been implementing some outlines around my macro trade, and essentially this is one of my main setups that I've been using currently, and essentially being okay with the small losses. We talked about the book. We referenced Best Losers Wins, and just learning how to lose, guys. And I feel like that really correlates to, being okay with losing a couple losing a couple worms to catch a big fish. And so that's been our mindset. And so we just want to hop on and just talk empirically from that standpoint. I've been using that. I like that word, empirically. Just experience, essentially, speaking from experience. And so, couple trade. Last week, we placed a great trade. It was with USD and the Canadian dollar, and it was just a big drop. It was a big drop in the currency pair. I don't know what caused exact. There's a lot of turmoil around oil, as I'm sure you've heard of, especially around Europe, and just piecing this together. But it wasn't really a macro trade. This was definitely a more technical setup correlated with the macro environment. And so that trade, we was able to continue to build on it, and pretty much was it 2? Yes, we was 2 for 5. 2 trades out of 5 trades last week, and we was up, I believe, 2 to 5, and we was up by like at least 10%. The one trade, the second trade was kind of small, but the one trade pretty much, even if we lost the second trade, we still would have been up substantially. And so that's why for us, we're okay with losing fish. We're not really, not fish, worms. We're okay with losing worms. We're not trying to, win 4 out of 5 trades, because it's not how many trades you win in. It's, is that fish bigger than the total of all the worms, so to speak? If you catch a 10-pound fish, right, and you had to use 20 worms, but they each weigh, 2 grams, 5 grams, is it worth it? Absolutely. You don't even have to think. It could be 100 worms. That probably won't even add up to a pound. 100 worms, and you got a 10-pound fish. It's not you don't have to worry about your percentage rate if you are able to find a trade, a great trade setup, and build upon it. And me personally, I like this setup because it's less pressure. I'm not losing sleep over each individual trade. I'm understanding that it is a sample size, and it's bigger than all of those individually. It's like I'm looking at the long game, and I'm patient, and I'm okay with losing these worms, so to speak. Like yesterday, losing those 3 trades. I exited 2 of the trades. Like we said, learn how to lose, set my parameters instead of letting it get to the stop loss. No, Remember, we're not trying to we're not trying to be hopeful, and we should be fearful, so to speak. The market has already proved and moved against us, and so we don't want to stay in this and allocate more capital. And just from this process, guys, we've been able to mitigate a lot of our risk just from being able to close the trade prematurely. And when I say prematurely, we've already set our parameters for us exiting the trade. We're not arbitrarily getting in and saying, oh, I don't know, where should I get out? No, we set our parameters, and we set a stop loss for us to personally close, and then we put like an emergency stop loss, so just in case the instrument was to move significantly within that time period. So overall, guys, are you okay with losing a couple worms for a fish? Are you okay with losing a couple worms, sorry, to catch a big fish? I am. I'm okay with it. It's a lot less stress knowing that, that fish is coming along and it will take care of all the worms that I have used. So as we move forward, put that in your repertoire. If this resonates with you and correlates with your trading plan, write it down, solidify it so that you can continue to reference it both mentally and when you're in the grind. It's okay to lose a couple worms to catch a big fish.